Hello, it's Ivan, the Chief Product Officer of Airheart. Today, I'm really excited to give you a deep dive of the Airheart Explorer, which allows travellers to understand where they can travel and what's required of them. So let's jump right in. You can find our Explorer from the Airheart homepage by clicking on Explore Where to Travel. When you first navigate into the Explorer, it'll select the origin location automatically for you as the country you're currently in. If you need to change the origin country, you can do this by clicking the drop-down menu. A pro tip: type the first letter of the country you're looking for to quickly scroll through the list. I'm going to be travelling from the United States, so I'll select that from the list. And instantly, we can see that there are many more options available to me. The map is colour-coded and it helps you quickly understand which countries are open or closed for travel. To filter out destinations that require certain unwanted policies, click the filter button. From there, we can filter out destinations that require quarantine, masks in public, or a COVID-19 test. You can see the colour of the countries filtered out has changed from green to orange. Destinations are also listed in the table below the map. This makes it easy to scan additional details, such as relevant policies related to testing, wearing of masks, travel documentation, quarantine, health screening, and much more. You can also see the travel risk index from 1 to 4. The higher the number, the riskier the location for acquiring COVID-19. This risk is assessed based on the guidelines outlined by the CDC. Notice that both allowed and restricted locations are shown in the table. To hide the restricted countries, click the green and red dots at the top of the table header. Today, I want to know the requirements for travelling to Greece, so we'll scroll down to Greece and take a look at more details for this destination. The first section gives you immediate information on the restrictions for travelling to this country. If a restriction exists, you can quickly understand whether or not it applies to you. As with all the restrictions and policies we display, we also include the source alongside the last date it was updated. Policies for the trip are organised chronologically by the stage of travel. See what you need to have before you leave for your trip, while travelling, on location, and before departing. If a restriction depends on your COVID-19 vaccine status, this information is included in the policy details. Sources and last updated dates are also included here. It's beneficial to understand when this information was last updated. Remember to always double check the sources before making travel plans. In addition to the CDC risk assessment, we also include the normalised count of new COVID-19 cases per million people, vaccination rates, and more COVID-19 related stats. These will be early indicators for easing restrictions or upcoming lockdowns, and are updated daily using data from Johns Hopkins. The next section is local guidelines. Vacations will look a bit different for the foreseeable future. It's good to set expectations for what life is like on location, which is why we include local guidelines for your destination. You'll better understand if there's a curfew in place, if restaurants are operating normally or just doing takeaway, if bars are open, and if you need to wear a mask on public transport. Before we check restrictions for the return leg, I'm going to pin this route, which will allow me to receive immediate updates if there are any changes to travel from the United States to Greece. Of course, the return leg has separate restrictions, and we can quickly navigate to them by clicking the return trip button. Now that we're looking at the return trip, we'll want to pin this as well to be sure we know about any last minute changes before we get home. Each route we pinned is saved to a shortlist that we can view by clicking on the pin page, and we'll receive notifications by email when any restrictions or policies on these routes change. To unsubscribe from a route, simply unpin it. Just as you would search for a country, you can also search for domestic restrictions as well, and we've included restrictions for the major geographies that we have domestic coverage for. Remember to check out Airheart on your mobile device or tablet, as we include a mobile optimized view for all of this information, which is handy when you're at the airport or on the go. Well, that's all for this video. We'll be adding additional features in the coming weeks, including search and filtering by vaccination status, so please subscribe to receive updates when these features are rolled out. Until next time, safe travels.